Hey budgeters, welcome to Bailey Budgets. Thank you for joining me on my journey to being debt-free. This is my first video, so I'm actually going to do just a little bit of backstory about how I got into budgeting, and we'll get into like stuffing in future videos, but you'll see why. I started savings envelopes in December of 2022, but my journey goes back a bit farther. I started the Dollar Savings Challenge many years ago. I only did the Dollar Challenge for 1 year and wish I would have kept up with it. If you've been a cash budgeter for a while, you may remember that challenge where you save $1 for the first week, $2 on the second week, and so on and so on. By the end of the year, you had like $1,300 saved. My life, of course, life goes. Things get in the way, and I kind of quit doing it, stopped looking out for my future. We're fast forwarding now to like 3 or 4 years ago. My budget was very out of control. I had 4 major credit cards that were maxed out: mortgage payments, insurance, store credit cards, and so on. I was barely making minimum payments on my cards. And then I had a really massive issue with my car that I had absolutely no money saved to fix. Had no credit card, funds to take care of it. And yeah, there was nothing I could do. My credit cards at the time being maxed out, I would make payments, so I'd have a little bit of money left, and I was using that to like help pay for groceries, and it was just like this never-ending cycle. So I finally said enough is enough. I found like a financial consultant where I live, who looks at your finances and your income and kind of makes that determination of whether or not you should file for bankruptcy or get on like a debt repayment plan. And it was determined that bankruptcy was my best option. Luckily, I was able to keep my home because I was making that payment with no issues. That was like priority number 1, was to keep my house. So every month, that was the first thing that ever got paid. I surrendered my car and all of my credit cards, and it was like relief, and you just breathe that sigh of relief that you can finally start moving forward. After the bankruptcy, I did kind of swear to myself that I wasn't going to get in massive credit card debt again. I am kind of there, but not there. I have a line of credit that I use to get a new computer, and then I also have a credit card that I needed to use to get a new washer and a new refrigerator. Luckily, my income now is better than pre-bankruptcy, so I'm able to make the minimums with no problem and still have money left over. But it can get challenging at times. So I rediscovered cash envelopes, and I have been amazed at the cash stuffing challenges that other budgeters have come up with since that first challenge. I came into a little bit of money after Christmas and then began my journey towards paying off my debt and saving for retirement, which is what we have here with the binders and the envelopes that I have inside. So the 3 binders that I have are a little weirdly laid out, but it works for me. Most of my money actually stays in the bank because I have like kind of auto pay on my bills, and things are set up already that way. But I'll kind of go through it here just a little bit. So in the green binder, this has envelopes to start paying off my my small mortgage. Like I said, getting into 100% financing. I have 2 mortgages right now, so I want to get that smaller one paid off because it actually has a higher interest rate. So I started saving for that. I also have like car maintenance, $1,000 emergency savings challenge, vacation, holidays, 50 envelope savings challenge, quarters, and heads or tails. In the pink binder, I have bills to save for at least a month ahead. I do want to try and get a month ahead so I can start, you know, like pull more towards savings, paying off my mortgage, that sort of thing. I also have another savings envelope that I want to kind of convert to either a Roth IRA or some other interest-paying savings account. So trying to determine like where I'm going to actually pull the money, or when and how much. So also have a car envelope to save for a new car, or paying cash for like a private sale. Debt payoff, which it's getting close to where I could use it to pay off. I have a gas credit card, so I'm getting kind of close to those two being meeting to that point where I can pay it off. Not quite there, but it's getting there. And then I have a housing envelope that I have two categories in, so internal and external repairs. So I kind of save for like if my furnace breaks, or I need to get some yard maintenance done that I can't do, but I'll need to hire out for. So those are kind of the things that I'd be saving for in that envelope. And then the black binder is actually for business-related income and taxes. I do run a small baking business, and most of the income that I get from that is actually acquired in the summer months, so it's pretty empty right now. Out of my green binder, I also loaned some money to family members that I'm still waiting to get back. So as soon as I get that, like maybe I'll get that back before my next payday, and then I can bring it into stuff that into the category. The way I budget, because like I said, I keep most of my money in the bank to pay my bills, and then I pull out like extra in order to stuff my envelopes here. So I kind of look at my full-time paycheck, and then calculate what bills need to be paid with that check, figure out like groceries, gas, that sort of thing, and then whatever I have left over, I will pull out to stuff in here. Sometimes I pull out extra to like put in my wallet for gas or for the groceries, and sometimes I just leave it in there. It just depends on what we're looking at that week. I thought I had my budget all figured out for this week, which is why I'm not doing the actual cash stuffing. I got my accountant called, and my taxes were all prepped, so I had to come up with the money for that, and wasn't planning on that being this week. So I didn't have all that money set aside, and had to figure out again how much I was going to end up stuffing in here. So got all the stuffing done, and then I did film that, and then I was having some problems, so I figured I'm just not going to pull it back out. You can see stuffing on the next video. Behind the binders, you can see a couple of like savings challenges that I'm working on. I do have an Etsy shop, so I'd appreciate you going over and checking out what I have there. These challenges are not in my shop yet. I'm still kind of working on, they're all going to be like digital downloads, and creating the file when I would print them out. Like this one, you can see it kind of cut off the edge. I had an edge there, so you could cut it out. You can make it smaller. I mean, I know I can do it, like change the printer settings, but maybe, you know, everybody else is not able to do that with their printer. So I'm still working on making it all fit, so you could print it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then just a couple of other things, like talking about savings. So I do use a couple of savings apps like Fetch and Ibotta, and then there's another one called Receipt Hog. I'm going to leave links in the description box for these. So if you're not already signed up with any of them, you can use my referral code to sign up. I don't know if any of them are like giving bonuses right now. I know Fetch used to, like, when you would sign up with somebody's code, you would get 2,000 points once you upload your first receipt. Fetch is awesome. Like, you scan your receipt, and it can be any receipt from groceries, clothing, fast food, like wherever you've made a purchase. You scan that receipt, you get points. They did kind of change how they issue their points. So there's like some bonus clubs based on brands. So, and then they do offer like other special bonuses, like if you spend $10 on X brand, then you get like 1,000 extra points on top of the points that they would already give you. So go ahead and check those out. And Ibotta, you do have to buy like certain things, so it's kind of like a rebate on the specific things. So depending on what's available, I may use it and I may not. And then Receipt Hog is also like Fetch, except Fetch you can redeem for like multiple different types of gift cards. Receipt Hog you can redeem for PayPal. When you get to a certain point level, you can redeem for different PayPal amounts. And then I think they have like Visa gift cards, which I really don't even get those. Usually I convert it into PayPal. And I think the other option is to like get a paper check mailed to you. So I prefer, you know, hey, 3 days, there's PayPal money. Awesome. But thank you again for stopping by and checking out my video. Like I said, with me getting paid every other week or every 2 weeks, not doing any cash stuffing today, but go ahead and come back in about 2 weeks. I should have that next video. In the meantime, if I get any other money coming in from like payback from the loan that I gave out, I will post a video for that. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, be sure to leave me a comment. I will try and get to them as soon as I can. Thank you.